Alright, hey everybody, I am at Homestead, Miami Speedway here in the Xfinity Series. There are some other cars, so you can tell I am in career mode here. I'm going to try to lay down a decent lap, then talk about the line I am using and show the setup and everything. I have ran a 31.9 with this. I looked at the leaderboard, and this would actually, I think, put me right there at like 10th place or just ahead of 10th place. 31.988 I think was 10th place. So this is a pretty good setup, I think. I did it with no draft. I'm hoping I can get something close to that on video, because I actually ran somewhere in that range a couple of laps in a row. So let's see what I can get on video here. Maybe I'll get lucky and hit it on the first lap. That was a 32 flat, so I will be happy with that. That's within a 10th of my best, so that's always what I am shooting for. Couple things about this setup before I go into the laps and everything. This setup, it seems like it burns the right front tire a little quicker than the right rear, but it'll still make it through a fuel run. So you burn one ahead of the other. I like to keep them even, but you know, what can I say? As long as you make it through a fuel run, I don't think it's that much of a big deal that you're burning one ahead of the other. But yeah, the right front does burn a little bit quicker. And I think part of that is you got to have a car that feels a little bit tight, because as the tires wear, it wants to get really loose coming off the corners, especially coming off of 2. It seems like is worse than coming off 4. But let's get into the line that I run. Okay, what I try to do in both corners is I take a little bit of a wider arc. So you'll notice when I went through this turn, I started off a little bit wide of the suggested line and then kind of dove my way down there, and I kind of worked my way down towards that white line as I went through the corner. Going into 3, this is my mark here, is I lift when I get to here. I don't use any brakes, but I lift when I get to here. Try to let the car settle to the bottom of the track, and when you can feel it settle, I pretty much just drop the hammer and get right back on the gas. I try to basically stay pretty low through most of it. I might have got a little bit high, but then I think I dropped back down coming on exit. I think I got a little bit below it down in here. Turn 1 is different. Turn 1, I don't know if it's because you got pit road here, it seems more narrow, and I don't drive it in quite as deep. So when I'm coming into 1, again, I'm starting out by the wall. I'm taking a little bit of a higher line than the suggested line going in. And when I get to this last cone here, at every track it seems like there's these cones. There's 3 cones, 2 cones, and 1 cone, and you got this one lone orange cone here, kind of counts you down to the corner. But when I get to this, that's where I am lifting. I lift, and then it's the same concept. Let it settle to the bottom of the track, then get on the throttle and hammer the throttle and get down the straightaway. So that's my line at Homestead, Miami. Let's go and talk about the setup here. See if I can get through this. Man, I feel like I got a sneeze, but it's not coming. So if you hear a big sneeze in the middle, you'll know that's a big sign of relief for me. What to talk about here on the setup? Nothing real crazy on the bumper rebound settings. Nothing real crazy, I don't think, on the weight settings either. This is pretty typical of what I'm running. Shocks are pretty standard. 1200 on the front, and then 500 and 600 on the left and right rear respectively. I don't know if I changed the tire settings at all. I may have fooled around with the rear tire pressures, but not a lot. Couple of things that I did is I got a little more aggressive on the camber settings than it had, and it doesn't seem like that really makes that much of a difference in the tire wear, because I did fool around with camber settings trying to improve the tire wear. Didn't see a huge difference going up or down unless you went to an extreme. I fooled around with different sway bars, but I found out this seems to be the balance between wearing out the tires and making the car turn. Very odd here that I run both track bars the same, and I think that's because you're fighting a loose off condition always at Miami, so I went lower on that right track bar to help with that loose off condition. The grill tape is very high, but you can get away with it. I don't have the car overheat. I never have it get to 260 degrees. It gets close, but I haven't had it get to 260. What else? I think the gear ratios are pretty standard. I fooled around with, if you are a little better driver than I am, you can probably run a 360 gear and get a better lap time if you can roll the corner and maintain your speed through the corner better. I fooled around with the 360 all the way up to a 382. 375 and 370 are pretty much the same. But I wound up with the 370 feeling like I could get a little better drive off the corner. But like I said, if you're a better skill set than I am, you may want to go down, and that way you can, if you can roll the corner better and keep the engine RPMs up even with that taller gear with the 360, you probably want to run that. That is about all I got. Not as complicated as I thought for as much time as it took me to get here, because it took me a ton of time to get to this setup. But at any rate, that's what I got. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the support. Please do me a huge favor, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I will tell you guys have a great day. And as always, thank you so much.